Israel's forces entered the Gaza Strip in a first raid but retreated later, while in the north the fighting is intense but not escalating. And at the same time, the discussion is about political solutions and for what Israel is waiting currently while it's still not invading the Gaza Strip. This and more in this situational picture about the Israeli-Hamas war. Over the past few days, the fire from the Gaza Strip into Israel has intensified. We have a picture here from the from yesterday, where huge parts of Israel had rocket warning because of heavy shelling, heavy missile fire, heavy rocket fire from the Gaza Strip. Also, after a couple of days of no infiltration attempts, divers from Hamas tried to enter Israel, the kibbutz Sikkim. They were identified, and in total it was supposed to be 15 divers, and they were engaged by the Israeli forces and defeated. Israel itself entered the Gaza Strip close to Khan Yunis, and entered it with tanks and with infantry, but later retreated in a clear raid. The Israeli forces say they lost one soldier in this engagement. The fighting on the West Bank is increasing. The unrest, some of it fighting, some of it demonstrations. Since the explosion on the parking lot of the hospital in Gaza, in the West Bank, the violence is slowly increasing. In the north, Hisbollah is continuously engaging the Israelis. They have published a video of their latest attempts that we can watch here. We show that mostly they, apart from some attacks on tanks and on IFVs, we see them engage with recoilless rifles. We can quickly pause here, actually. We see them engage observation points with sniper rifles, with recoilless rifles. That's an M4T. Originally American, but likely an Iranian copy. That's a TOW, a TOW missile. But again, the Iranians copy it as Tufan. And here that should be a concourse, and this should be a cornet. And we see a Malyuka here. So they basically show the whole variety of what they have in anti-tank missiles. Here we see some rifle fire, and I think that's an automatic grenade launcher. And we see the observation points being hit. This is actually a fairly smart way from Hisbollah to keep the pressure up without escalating to a degree that Israel feels forced to enter Lebanon and fully engage Hisbollah and defeat them or diminish their capabilities. By taking out the observation points, they reduce the Israeli armed forces' ability to see what is happening on the other side, which requires them to put more equipment, more personnel, to fix more troops in place. At the same time, with an attack on a tower like this, they don't kill anyone. That doesn't justify sending tanks over the border. So while there have been engagements with guided anti-tank missiles on tanks, and while that has cost at least the lives of 6 Israeli soldiers, both sides as of now still try to keep it calm enough to basically show the others their own willingness to fight without fully engaging and provoking the other side too much. Israel is obviously responding. Also, after Hisbollah has used multiple launch rocket systems, 107 millimeter rocket systems were used as well. Israel fought back, struck with its air force and its artillery, but as said, the ground fighting hasn't really started yet. Israel has also been shelled from the Golan Heights. Here at the Golan Heights, there the fire came from Syria, and the Israeli Air Force and artillery struck back. Syria is saying that they lost 8 soldiers, 8 KIA and 7 WIA. According to the reports, a mortar position of the Syrian armed forces was engaged that apparently opened fire on Israel. Also, there was a fresh attack on the Aleppo airport. According to reports, they destroyed the runways, so it seems like Israel is using special bombs to crater a runway to make it impossible to fly from that, to prevent reinforcements being flown in from Iran. That seems to be the Israeli goal in those attacks right now, because the reports were it happened 2 hours after workers had repaired the runway from a previous attack. And the Syrian opposition is saying that several hundred fighters from Iranian groups have now arrived on the Syrian side of the Golan Heights. But I said several hundred, so to have some perspective about that. For over a week now, there is also fighting going on in Syria and in Iraq, or better to say, attacks are happening on US positions, on US bases. The Islamic resistance in Iraq has said that they are responsible. As far as I know, that group has never appeared before and was apparently formed by several Shiite militias that are likely being guided by the Al-Quds force from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Alvia Wat al-Haq also has threatened US targets in Kuwait and in the UAE, and that group is considered to be a proxy of Iran as well. So Iran keeps up the pressure, but again, the amount of attacks done with mortars, with rockets, and with drones is still somewhat limited in the overall perspective. Right now, the question is for what is Israel waiting with its ground invasion? There have been some hostages that were released. Supposedly, the US asked Israel to wait to try to get more hostages free, while the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the US wants to send additional air defense systems in the region and is asking Israel to wait for that. That's supposedly the reason for them to wait. Macron, according to this, is now proposing that the anti-ISIS coalition, which has several Arabic members, should focus Hamas, as they are supposedly like ISIS. I mean, that's part of the Israeli information campaign comparing the crimes from Hamas with ISIS in the past. And according to this, Macron wants the anti-ISIS coalition to be used against Hamas. Whether that is going to work out is a completely different story, though. Also, the reports are that the Israelis want to get rid of their responsibility of Gaza after this war. They want to destroy Hamas's ability to wage war and Hamas's ability to govern the Gaza Strip, but after that they don't want to shed their responsibility for Gaza. So no more fuel, no more water, no more goods being sent in, no more electricity. That's my interpretation now. They want somebody else to take over, which will obviously be the probably most difficult task here, because while it might be extremely costly for them to take the Gaza Strip with their military superiority, it seems no question that they will be able to take over the Gaza Strip. But what then? They don't want to occupy it again for the next decades. They can't hand it to another Palestinian faction, as this faction wouldn't have the legitimacy and wouldn't want to be brought into the Gaza Strip on the back of Israeli tanks. And Egypt doesn't want anything to do with this, because whoever takes responsibility for the Gaza Strip afterwards basically takes responsibility for terrorist attacks starting from the Gaza Strip. So if it's any coalition of Arabic states, they would put their own personnel in danger if Israel strikes back after additional terrorist attacks. If it's the United Nations, they would have to prevent terrorists in Gaza from operating, and that will probably be the biggest challenge for Israel in this war, to find out what to do about this. But that was already it from me for now about the situation in Israel and in the Gaza Strip. If you like this report, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. And leave a comment what you think Israel should do with the Gaza Strip after taking it, if they even take it. And if you're new here, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. This channel is only possible because of the support of viewers like you. If you like to support the channel, you can do so by the means in the description. Thank you very much to everyone already supporting this channel. And that's it from me for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back.